Osiris here with a guide on how to farm with a Town Hall 2 to level 3 in Clash of Clans. So this is a new base I just started out. I've been playing this game for a while and I wanted to throw up some videos for it. This base is just over a day old and you can see I've already up to level 3. I've got research started and I've got plenty of resources. And the way you do this is just by farming. So first I'm going to do a sample attack of what it might be like to farm with a level 2 Town Hall or early Town Hall 3, and I just have 30 Barbarians. So I'm assuming one army camp upgraded to level 2, and that's all you got. So the first step to farming in Clash of Clans is to skip regularly. You want to look for a nice base. So here's a pretty good base, and I like this base because there is some elixir here, there's a nice gold storage, and there's almost no defense. But I'm actually going to look for something a little bit better. And assuming you're actually level Town Hall 2, there will be almost no defense anywhere you go. So here's a little bit better of one, especially if you get Goblins. You can see that this guy's mines are mostly full, but there is one of the a mortar. And when you have a mortar, you just want to spread out your units a little bit. So that way, yeah, some of your Barbarians are going to get hit, but then you're in to the resources, and that's where we want to be. Okay, so we have no chance of clearing the space, but as you can see, I'm getting plenty of loot, and that's all that really matters because we're farming. So you can get the couple thousand resources you need, and then move on to the next base, and just keep repeating. So you can see I'm getting a few thousand gold here, and this is perfect for a low-level player. You know, if you're level 2, your gold cap is only a couple thousand, so you would have capped out on the single one. And you would do the same thing again and look for somebody with a really vulnerable elixir and do the same thing. Okay, so you can see I was able to get almost 5,000 gold, much better than the Goblin missions at this level. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and train some Goblins, speaking of Goblins. And this is how I like to farm once you're Town Hall 3 and have upgraded your barracks a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video while that trains. Okay, so we're back now, and a little bit of time has passed. I have a max camp of Goblins. And the difference between Goblins and Barbarians, it's the same cost, but note that Goblins do take longer to make, 30 seconds versus 20 seconds. So if you're going to use Goblins, you've got to really, make sure you're getting the most out of them. Which, I mean, it's not too difficult. So what I'm going to do is show you how to use the Goblin. And this is going to be something you get once you have a level 3 Town Hall and have upgraded your barracks. And the reason the Goblin's nice is because that it focuses exclusively on resource collectors and loot. So what you're going to do is you're just going to skip around until you find the perfect base to attack. And that might take me a little bit of time. Since Goblins take longer to make, you really got to make sure you really have to make it count in order to justify using the Goblin over the Barbarian. So I'm really having an unlucky streak right now, but I don't want to, cherry pick the best encounters. Okay, so here's a good one. So with the Goblin, you don't have to worry about certain annoying things, and that's that it can be hard to break down walls with a Barbarian. This base shouldn't be an issue. But what we're going to see is I'm going to drop one Goblin here, and see how it'll attack that wall. That's going to distract that mortar while I drop a bunch of Goblins up here. And you can see I'm taking out quite a bit of these structures, and I'm getting a ton of loot here. And this Goblin is just keeping this mortar distracted. And as you can see, I've taken most of his loot. I actually don't want to get any trophies. So what I can do now is just leave or not drop any more Goblins, as I've got most of his loot. And then I'm just going to surrender. Okay, and then while that battle was happening, I was training more units. So I'll be ready to attack again and find somebody else. Now here's an amazing base. Wow, That was a lucky find by me for sure. So we've got a ton of gold, and most of it's down here actually. So here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to drop a couple Barbarians here and a couple here. Okay, yeah, so we're getting quite a bit of gold. I don't want to drop too many. Okay, so everyone's going now, and now I'm capped. And I could sit here and take more loot. It doesn't really matter at this point. But as you can see, I'm easily capped, and I can just surrender. But I'm just soaking up some loot so I can get towards the achievements. So there's a 40k raid. Barely used any units, and that is very nice. So now I'm just waiting for a builder to free. Got a whole hour, but I hope this video was helpful for you, and now you know how to farm at level 3. And just to take a step back, the reason I like to do this at a low level and not keep my shield is that you can't take there's only so much loot you can take. I believe you can only take about a quarter of what's in the storage, and there's actually a cap based on your town hall. Not only is there a total amount of loot that can be taken based on your town hall, but there's also a differential penalty. So at a level 3 town hall, you can only lose something like 10k of each, maybe 15k of each. And you know, the reason that's important is because I can lift my shield, and the most I'm going to lose is 10k and 10k. Well, you easily just saw that I can make that up in no time at all. So who cares about raising your shield? And the second thing is, only players with Town Hall 3 or 4 are going to be able to take much loot off you. Anyone at Town Hall 5 is only going to be able to take half of the max potential, so that 10k is going to cut to 5k. Anyone beyond that is going to be barely able to take anything. So, I mean, this defense isn't the best because this base is only a day old, but most Town Hall 3 players are actually going to struggle against this base. I would not want to attack this as a Town Hall 3 player, just because you don't even have wall breakers and there's level 3 walls. If you had giants unlocked, yeah, maybe you could bust in with, you know, a max giant attack, but it's not really worth it. So, there's no real harm in lifting the shield. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Future Clash of Clans videos, I'm probably going to turn the subscription option off, just so that I don't flood people who have subscribed for my SC2 and Final Fantasy videos.